What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have the all-new for 2024 to the Hot Wheels mainline lineup. We have the DeLorean Alpha 5. This one is pretty cool, but it did seem to hang on the pegs. There was no issues finding it. So are people skipping out and missing out? Let's take a closer look and find out. So as always, let's get things started with our casting. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our proportions, and we can see that they are actually really nice. Nothing really to complain about proportionally wise. Let's put the real life car up in the corner, at least the closest thing we have a real life car. Now, one thing we should talk about right out of the gate is that this entire canopy section, all this black stuff you see right here, this is all one giant piece of plastic. And as disappointing as that is to see, I guess it really does kind of fit with this car, you know. This is kind of a giant chunk of glass on the real-life car, so it is what it is. Making our way down the side, we do have nice body panels casted in. This skirt here is a piece of the base. This diffuser, all a piece of the base, this area here. And then this entire splitter and kind of section in here, casted in, but casted into the base, sorry. It does have some like ventilation back there, looking really cool. Nice hood lines up here. Overall, very cool. There is mirrors on this casting, which is always a plus. So overall, casting-wise, not too shabby at all. For the paint and deco, this initial release, well, the mostly initial release, we get just this nice plain white, just plain gloss white, no metal flake or anything to it. There is a orangish copper kind of color that's also been released. And then there is the kind of mail-in, what was it, a mail-in, an RLC exclusive? However, they did the one that you had to get special ones for. That one was technically the first edition, but this is what I count as the first edition. Moving into our details. So, starting up front, you can see that we do get a nicely-ish detailed tampo up front with the headlight bar kind of there and the DeLorean logo sprawled out right there. Overall, pretty good. We do have this section missing down the side, which is a bit of a bummer. And then on the tail section here, you can see that we do get nicely tampo detailing here. Again, the DeLorean lights right there looking really good. And then these extra little lights down here. 10 spokes for the wheel choice on this. Maybe not the best choice, but they definitely don't look bad. So not really going to complain there. Moving into our roll test, this is a Hot Wheels mainline, so obviously it rolls, and it rolls extremely smooth. I went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it comes out to 31.65 grams. So the heavy use of plastic for the canopy definitely shows in the weight department, but it still is pretty average for a mainline. Pros and cons, getting started with our pros. The first big pro is that this is the first and so far only DeLorean Alpha 5 in the 1/64th-ish scale. So that is always a big pro to me. The second pro is that it's just an overall good casting. There are good proportions, and the overall just casting quality and detail is very nice, especially at the $1 price point. Cons, there are two cons. The first one is definitely to be expected, and that is the Tampo QC. It took me a good while of digging through for some to find some with perfect tampos on front and back. That is to be expected, though, for the most part on a mainline. And the other con, I would say, is this missing detail piece right here. I think just that extra little one tiny little tampo would have really put this one over the top and just been just that touch nicer. For some quick size comparisons, here we have it with some other cool EVs that you might own, with the Pininfarina Battista from Hot Wheels and the Tesla Roadster concept from Matchbox. And here it is with some sports cars from other random brands that you might own, with the Maserati MC20 from BBR and the Lotus Elise from Tomica. So with all of that out of the way, it is now time to give my overall final scores. The hype level, I'm going to give it an 8.2. There was a fair decently amount of hype for those of us who enjoy concept cars and just enjoy unique looking cars in general. However, the general population of collectors weren't too happy with this. It was pretty easy to find on the pegs. Execution, I'm going to give it a 9.3 out of 10. There's not a whole lot more I would have done differently for this release, except for maybe use some diecast in some places that this one used plastic. Community input, I gave this one to the council. This is what their results were. Pretty good scores. I think the biggest complaint was that they did not like this as the first color choice. They did not like the white color that well. Overall, though, that's going to be an 8.3 from the community. When we take these three scores and average them out, we are going to end up with an 8.6 as our overall final score, which I think that is a very fitting final score for a very well done mainline model, which is of perhaps not the most well-known car, and it's really a car that might not ever truly exist. Not really sure how well DeLorean's financial situation is, but last I had checked, it wasn't too hot. This is definitely one that I would suggest you pick up. I really think that this could end up being a kind of unique and cool part of automotive history, something like a what could have been kind of story. And when it's only $1 mainline price tag, you really don't have anything to lose. And with that, guys, that is all I have for this review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to leave a comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model. And I will see you in the next video.